Before I play the next two pieces, I'll just tell you a little bit about my guitar, which is an Australian instrument by a maker called Smallman. Smallman is very famous in classical guitar circles because John Williams, the Australian guitarist, who's a really iconic figure, has been playing Smallman guitars since the mid-1980s. And what makes a Smallman different from more traditionally made guitars is the way the bridge is supported. All the string tension is pulling on the bridge. And this is quite a thin piece of wood. So there has to be a strong system of strutting underneath the top of the guitar here. Traditionally, from the early 20th century onwards, guitars in that Spanish traditional way of making had 7 struts in a fan shape underneath the bridge, and that stops the string tension from collapsing the top of the guitar. Smallman came up with an oval-shaped lattice, and the struts of the lattice are about 1 inch apart. They run diagonally, and the struts are made up of layers of balsa wood and carbon fibre. So it's very strong but very flexible, and he can make the top of the guitar very thin. And the reason this rest is here is to keep your sleeve off the guitar, because any contact with the bit of wood has a damping effect. It's quite pronounced if you put your hand over all of it, but it's a reflection of how thin the wood is. It's not much more than 1 millimetre thick. So even a little bit of sleeve on the guitar there does take away some of the resonance of the guitar. And resonance is one of the key characteristics of lattice brace guitars. They tend to be a bit louder, a little bit more resonant, and to have a slightly more dense or muscular sound, which is brilliant for lots of things. But if I'm recording, I quite like to use a more traditional instrument that has a slightly more transparent sound world. There's so much resonance from this guitar that even when you pluck that note on its own and then stop it, the resonance from that harmonic is really loud. So playing a lattice brace guitar, you have to have a slightly hyperactive thumb, because when it's not plucking, it keeps having to nip back to the bottom strings to damp them so you don't get unwanted resonance.